But you just gotta find the time that is best for you at the end of the day, because that is the time. You gotta
Hmm.
go for it. Oof.
So I started asking questions. I started getting tutorials from people,
Mm,
like, cause people wanted to help me out, and it was really really nice. I didn't have to ask for it. That made me feel better
mhm,
because I felt ashamed for asking for help. Cause
mm,
everybody around me knows what the fuck they're doing, and I don't.
mm.
You know?
I see what you're saying, but you like now that you understand that it's not like that. Have you probably incorporated that in different parts of your life? Because sometimes people can see things in certain areas and then and don't see in the other areas. Sometimes it's good to always be the student, and you find that a lot more people would tend to help more because there's a lot of teachers, and then sometimes there's a lot of people that just want to be a teacher, and that's okay. Let them be a teacher because then you can always be a student. There's always something there for you to learn. There's always something for you to grow, and there's always something for you to expand upon. For me, I'd always be a student for life, as long as I could be, like, because I would never want to be like, oh, I know, because I
We don't
don't.
know everything.
Nah.
And I had to realize that just because the thing is, the thing that I kept doing was putting people on a pedestal,
Mm,
even if I don't know you. Like, let's say I was bigger right now, and then I saw you at the gym, right? I see that you have so much muscle.
mm,
It automatically makes me feel like you're somehow better than me. And that came from a place of insecurity.
mhm,
I know that. I'm
mhm,
self aware about it. But I feel like that insecurity, the cause of that insecurity is from society and stigmas of being fat. You get what I'm saying?
mm. I would want to disagree, but you have your own feeling about it. So why don't you like
Because I've been
expand
big,
upon it?
because it's interesting, because
Yeah.
I've been big my whole life and now I'm
Mhm.
fit. So
Right. Is it different?
it's 100% true
Yeah.
when people say it pretty privilege is true.
What do you mean?
If somebody, I like, okay, the first thing,
I'm sorry, because just before you say that, I just seen so many examples in life, like pretty and sexy and good looking and all these things is relative.
it is very relative,
So
and you're
relative.
right,
Depends where you're at.
of
Where you
course.
at? Are you
But I
from
feel like
Alabama? No, I'm not talking shit.
I feel like it's a little bit different because you need to look at it from the view of a young teenage girl.
Okay. Put me there then.
You're a young teenage girl, and society tells you that you need to be white, skinny, right? White and skinny. That's the main priority. That is the main goal. That is how I grew up seeing everybody. And that's how everybody strives to be. And it's kind of crazy to see that because when you first meet a person, this is scientifically true. When you first meet a person, you make 121 impressions in the first minute of meeting somebody subconsciously. Not like making a list, but subconsciously you do.
Okay.
And those impressions obviously are not who you are because they don't know who you are when you first meet them. But that's what it's like being fat. It's 10 times worse. Like, for example, if I met somebody and they looked at me,
Hmm.
the only thing that they would see is that I'm fat. That's the first thing that you see. I'm fat.
All right. All right. My friend, when I was younger, loved fat girls. He only dated fat girls, like, and he really loved not in a like weird fetish way, but was just I don't know, like he just didn't care. Like he really honestly didn't care. Like he just genuinely like you know what I'm saying. And I that's one example. And I'm telling you, there's a lot that I know. You know what I mean? Like, and I never thought like for me, for instance, right? And just to flip it back, because I guess I can't think as a teenage girl. I'm not. You know what I mean? But in my perspective, it's more sexy, right? In my opinion, right? If there's a girl that, yeah, maybe she's big, but she's working at it, then like a girl that is already there. For instance, for me, like that's my personal thing. It's like, oh, okay, she's hungry for it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a different type of thing. For me, I feel like I'm skinny. Like I'm trying to build my chest. I'm trying to build, like, you know what I mean? Like there's certain things I'm trying to build, right? So it's like my motivation is different. I feel like people's goals is like attached to what they're attracted to.
Mm.
You know, and like it also could be where they're at mentally, you know, physically, etc. But to blame society, I feel like is like an easy thing to do instead of viewing oneself, which is what you did in that time. And that's my take on that experience. I'm not saying that that is your experience because you've had it different, but I also feel like it wouldn't have been completed if it wasn't for your own action. Because if you were just to listen to the society, you would have just kept on.
And I feel like it could be very toxic because I understand completely what you're saying because I think what you're trying to say is it would have been different if I had just said, "Oh, it's society's fault," and then not had done anything about it.
Right.
Exactly.
But I see what you're. Oh, now I see what you're saying.
But I did something about it.
Okay, now I see what you're saying. Like it's society's fault, and I decided to do something about it. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. You're not wrong about that. You're not wrong about that, especially because of what we spoke about, all of these extremities around.
Exactly. It's environment. Yeah. It's about society, your environment, where you live, where you grow up, what you're influenced to.
That is very true. Okay.
What is exposed to you.
Yeah, no, hands down. All right, I give that 100%. Yes.
I feel like it's a lot worse for teenage girls. You get what I'm saying? Because teenage girls are exploited. We are exploited, especially in the fashion industry, in the beauty industry. Teenage girls are marketed and targeted.
Oh, because that's who the target audience for the next generation of people that are going to buy whatever the fuck they want to sell.
Exactly. So, you know, growing up and, you know, being told that I'm too hairy, I'm too this, I'm too that, I'm too big.
Mm.
I remember when I was like 9 years old, I was in a classroom filled with all these other white kids. And I remember them telling me, "You got a hairy back." Because I got hair on my back, because I'm Arab. Mm. I got hair all over my body. Like, it's just stuff like that where you're subjected at such a young age and you don't even understand what that is. Why shouldn't I have hair on my back? What makes me less pretty because of that?
I don't think it's again, it kind of goes back to, and I see what you're saying, because that is the staple, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's the wrong focus. Because if you expand your look, you'll start to see that what we were talking about, like it's all relative. Once you start actually communicating with people and actually going out to society and actually, you know, just
and opening yourself.
Yeah, because it's a trick that I would say perhaps, not even perhaps.
I don't think it's a trick. I think it's more of a response. No, it's just a response.
No, hold on. I wasn't done. I would say that it's a trick that society has caused in your mind to make you go in a certain direction rather than another.
Exactly.
Because it's easier that way than to diverge and go the more difficult route. And then you come to find out it's not even as difficult as people think, right? Probably before you started the gym, you were like, "Oh man, I can't even imagine." And now you've been doing it.
For me, I didn't even think about that because if I thought about that, I wouldn't have done it.
Okay.
So I didn't even think about anything. I just raw.
But I'm saying, but like before, you probably did have like a passion.
I was like,
thought.
I don't even want to go into a gym, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like at that point, there was a time that
like I'm paying $20 a month to go fuck with metal. Like that's crazy.